The piece of advice is, what do you want out of it? What are you looking to do? How old are you? What is your risk tolerance? Are you looking to learn? Do you want to figure out how markets work and this looks interesting to you? Well, then decide, okay, in that case, don't go all in. Just put a bit of money in and get a feel for it. Get an understanding of what these different things are, what project really works for you, and enjoy the process of learning, losing money, making money, being the dumbass, and then thinking you're a hero and then realizing you're not. All the things that every person who ever invests has to go through, do it and enjoy it. And if you can write notes so you actually learn, it's really, really useful. If, on the other hand, you're saying, okay, what I want to do is I want to get exposure to this space because I want a long-term investment. I want to build a significant thing like I would have done to my 401k or in addition to my 401k, then that's a different conversation. Then what you would do is start looking for portfolio allocation, which is, okay, safety first. You want the highest quality product with most of your money in it. So that would be Bitcoin. And then you probably want Ethereum, a decent size because the network effect and its use cases are so enormous. And then after that, you start thinking like I'm thinking. It's like, what do I know about the next part of this? Do I have any informational edge? Do I just buy the Bitwise 10 and just do that? Is that a smarter way of getting that investment? Probably. And then maybe in a couple of years' time, when you're starting to understand areas that really excite you, it might have been DeFi, it might be social tokens, it might be anything, it might be NFTs, that you can start then allocating a bit more of your own money into those bets. So that's how I play it. It really depends what kind of thing you're trying to get out of it. You can get both out of it as well. You can put your regular dollar cost averaging plus a few lump sums in as you go, and you can have a trading account and lose all the money and be the complete ape. And that's okay. You can be both. So, if there's a particular piece of art, it's worth X. If it's a print of that piece of art and there's a million of them, it's worth the cost of the paper plus, a few of the people who sell it, the middlemen involved. So that's what, scarcity versus supply. So that issue's going on where the supply of money means the value of money's falling. And you can see it because your dollar buys you less of the S&P or less gold or less cryptocurrency or less real estate, right? You're poorer in terms of those investments. But the other thing is the financial system, if it's so big and so fragile, what happens if it does really blow up? Well, we need something else. We can't keep papering over the cracks as we've learned. So I realized that Bitcoin initially, and then the crypto world, was basically the answer to these two things. How do I stop the value of my money going down? And how do I have a safety in a new financial system that is more robust? And that has always been my framework. And then around it, it's all about network effects. Is what is so clever about Bitcoin that changed the game is we discovered after the internet the rise of network businesses. Facebook being a classic example, right? They give you this ability to network with all of your friends and family, and then businesses can then use you on the network and sell to you, and you create this network that has a lot of value. Now, we only get the value because your friend is on Instagram or whatever, but the shareholders got the value in Facebook shares. But you and I as users didn't. Bitcoin put the two together. If you are part of the network, you own Bitcoin. And the value of the network goes up from more people using it and the interconnectedness on the network, the value of the network goes up. Okay, this is a supercharged business model, which makes it exponential in its rise. And that whole space has been brought up upon that. So now we've got the macro thesis, the lowering of the value of your money, you basically getting poorer, and the risk of the financial system blowing up. And now we've got this way of valuing it, which is, oh my God, if everybody starts joining this and migrating across to this new system, it's going to go up in value and we're going to make a lot of money out of it too. That's basically the core thesis. Different people have different requirements. I'm an investor. I get the philosophical side and I err towards that, the decentralization of the world, but I'm also an investor. At core, what do I want to do? I want to make sure that my family is protected and can generate wealth. And the people around me are my friends. That's really what I care about. So then I'm looking for, okay, what is a real network effect? Because there's network effects is just not the number of people who own the token. So Doge, for example, has a lot of token holders. Does it have a network? Not yet. Could it have a network? Sure. Now, that's what Elon Musk has basically pointed out. He's like, if I could create use case for this, it's going to have millions of users and a use case. Then you create a proper network. Now, when you're talking about Ethereum, clearly got ridiculous network effects. And then almost everything else lies in the middle. And some of them will never get the network effects that we want, or maybe they deserve. It just happens that way. And others will, and maybe for the wrong reasons. So, it's a complicated world, but it's kind of interesting and fun. So we're still very early. We can't really tell what's going to win in the end. But I know that there's certain macro bets that are likely to win, right? Bitcoin, one. Ethereum, another. I think we're going to see, obviously, DeFi is another. NFTs, we don't know what platform and how the hell that's going to work, but that space is going to grow. Community and social tokens, that's going to grow. And interoperability, that's going to grow. Which ones? I don't know. That's the game like saying what stock in the S&P is going to be the best performer over the next 10 years. I don't know. Like when Disney launches a token, how much is that worth? When, XYZ megastar launches a token and gives you some community rights plus IP rights and, what are those things worth? We don't know, but they're going to be gigantic because culture has become an investment. And that is what is happening. But also not at just cultural level, like musicians and pop stars and brands like Louis Vuitton or Gucci or whatever it may be, or Adidas or Nike, whatever. It's also businesses. People like Real Vision, we have a massive community that's passionate about what we do, and we should tokenize because it aligns everybody's incentives. We want our users to benefit from the network growing, and we want to benefit from them benefiting from the network growing because they're going to go out and say, look, more people should join this. So I think we're going to see it across everything. So it's going to start with the obvious places, which is music and media. And before you know it, I think Facebook is basically doing that with the DM token. It's just not driven by the economics, but it's creating a currency for every Facebook user, which is 3.5 billion. Okay, that's a big, big deal. The one thing you cannot do is extract value from a community. And we've seen that with some of these kind of pop stars and other businesses selling NFTs. And all they've done is just take money out of the community for too much money. And the community's pissed off. The right answer is to build value, alignment and value. So they feel like this is really worth it. Then it's different. Then everybody makes money out of it.